Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into your daily read. This is going to be for Monday, January 30th, 2023. I do want to thank you so much for joining me. But as we proceed, as always, do keep in mind this is general for the day for all 12 signs. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But I feel a very peaceful, good vibe kind of feeling to this day. But we did pre-poll three wisdom oracles to speak upon this Monday. Serendipity, to be fair, and a leg up. First and foremost, I feel like there's something, okay, there's a need to balance things out. In a sense of the scale balancing in your favor more so these days. Feels like something's doing better for you. You're feeling control in certain ways, but then there's a sense of you wanting something to be more fair or just wanting to have more control in one area of your life or just in one aspect, wanting somebody to be more fair than they are. Does that make sense? There's a reminder throughout this Monday through whatever seems to frustrate you or just feel out of your control, a lack of fairness again, that you can't control other people, and that's okay, but it just feels like you might desire to develop or be hands-on in another way to feel that control. Does that make sense? And that's come up in, I want to say, more than one Libra reading before. Interesting I mentioned that. Regardless, this is for all 12 signs once again, but this is a very Libran card with the scales there. But I do feel as if, okay, they're pushing me to add these up, the 3 and 8 being the number 11. Okay, look up that spiritual number. But serendipity, because it is a day where there's just a lot of reminders that this is a different chapter than you once were wrapped up with and there's a sense of luck being on your side when it comes to when you're meant to accomplish something, being in the right place at the right time for some. And I feel like numbers and growth taking a focus, however that works out for you, but also your individual growth all the meanwhile. You're coping with something better, dealing with something better at hand, if not multiple somethings than you once would have, right? Old versions of oneself. And I feel like you're just at ease with the state of where things are or where things are heading, or you're being pushed to take on that standpoint, okay? They're saying you put energy into everything you create, develop, try to accomplish, every situation you're wrapped up in and who you bond with. Does that make sense? So basically, remember that your energy is priceless. So there's a need to, on one end, protect it all the meanwhile, right? And even if that means leaving a situation for a temporary time, I did get, where is it? The To the Sea card, but I decided not to take it, as well as time for a nap. I feel like there's a need to relax. I can't find it, but I did just see the Chopwood card and the Soulmate card. And it feels like the spiritual realm, or just however you want to view it, you're receiving certain gifts, whether it's knowledge, it could be certain levels of guidance, a push away or from a situation and or to a situation. I just feel like there's a need to recognize that everything's purposeful up until this point, and especially highlighting throughout this day, even the small slip-ups, right? I feel like you're just each feeling more refreshed throughout this day than you have been. A sense of kind of the clouds clearing, a level of fogginess sort of dissipating from your situation and your way of being, your energy. But a leg up being the third one, because I feel like whether you're thinking about a situation that you're not wrapped up with throughout this day, or you are wrapped up with it, whether it's work or it could be a relationship, it's the sense of you having an advantage of being experienced, or just having a similar situation from the past, even if it's not exactly the same, that is leaving you feeling easily, it's easy to adapt to that situation, right? It's easy to overcome certain obstacles. It's like you have the answers. You even, it's making me think about the job I'm training for. I'm almost done with the training. But it's like being trained by people with less experience than me, right? Given I have over 8 years experience as a server. But it's this feeling where you just kind of have to bite your tongue at certain times, but I do know it's going to pay off for me in the end, right? Moving forward after I finish training, because I just have more experience, right? I know what I'm doing, and I just, yeah, anyways, so it could be a number of areas of life situations for you specifically, but it's this feeling that you have this leg up, and it's coming to mind or just coming into play, or both, at certain points throughout the day. But I feel like you are still a little bit burnt out, okay? A push to potentially think about a bit of a defensive or feisty side that came to the surface or came to be recently and why that was. But I do sense you being very in touch with your masculine side throughout this day, male or female with the King of Cups. Being pushed to fill one's cup at certain points. You know, you do have the time if you think about it, however that comes to be for you, but a sense of you feeling more fulfilled throughout this day than you did in comparison to the past, I want to say few or a couple days, okay? But there is something you're expecting the worst with. Why is that? Even if it's valid, why? Don't overthink it, but Spirit's saying, keep in mind just as much as your energy affects the situation for the better or for the worse, right? Or just in certain ways, your expectation, your view, your standpoint on something, whether it's a person, that situation at hand or multiple, it could be your future or just your finances. You can manifest these, not concerns for some, but it might be, but more so you can manifest, create these expectations of disappointment or just negativity, annoyance into your external reality if you don't tread carefully, all right? It's not to say you should overthink or anything, but do you see what I'm saying? Just try to bring it back to a state of positivity, optimism, because we need you to remember how powerful you are when it comes to your mind. And your intentions is what I'm getting. Bear with me. The King of Cups coming out again. Okay, so we're pulling one for each one. No, I'm not going to take that one. Bear with me. Okay. So with Serendipity, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So naturally, this is going to be tied to your money for a lot drawn to the reading. This could be more a work or a project kind of situation. Regardless of how that looks for you, I feel like you're looking good is what I'm hearing. I just sense that the color green spiritually is coming into play. And again, going back to those scales, with the color green, very nature-esque kind of color, I need to reground oneself, but there's a sense of you sort of floating through this day at certain points, or just the whole day for some, where it feels almost effortless, right? Because again, trusting or needing to trust in the fact that things will get done when they're meant to, right? Things won't get done and potentially delayed for a purpose, but there's a sense of feeling confident through it all if you look at that Queen of Pentacles, and a sense of this kind of tying into the leg up card. In more than one situation, I feel for a lot, if not one in particular, the ball's in your court, right? And so Spirit's saying, if something isn't satisfactory in the long run, if something isn't consistently working for you, then the ball's in your court. Where do you want to go from here? What do you want to do? What do you want to switch up, right? It's up to you. But there's a sense of you being well-spoken and just getting it done quite efficiently, right? It's like, boom, check that off my to-do list, floating towards the next obligation, right? Or the next task, or just a level of peace and serenity, or just maybe I want to go on an adventure, right? And there's this reminder throughout this Monday that this is how you should be viewing each day, right? This effortless floating through and accomplishing what you need to when it's meant to. But also the day is a fresh canvas, right? How do you want to paint it? How do you foresee it, right? And I feel like there's also a focus on repetitive words, or what a saying you say too much. I know I say okay and right and these kind of words too much in my readings. I do apologize for that. But the King of Cups being aligned with the To Be Fair card coming out again, because I feel like there's this bold, confident way about how you're utilizing your knowledge throughout this day and are being prepped to do so more so moving forward, however that comes to be for you. Your path is unique for you, and I feel like there's a reminder throughout this day that it's very special, and there's a sense of karma as well coming through for this card. So you could be pushed to, or just naturally thinking about at certain points, karma when it comes to other people, when it comes to people you once were wrapped up with for some, when it comes to your individual situation. I feel like a lot drawn to this reading are being reminded you have more good karma piling up as we speak, right, as this day proceeds, and even from the past that hasn't been paid back to you. Does that make sense? By the universe? But a leg up being clarified and matched with the Chariot because I feel like this is a day where you're motivated, right? But it doesn't feel stressful. You're motivated to show people what you're made out of, right? Put that leg up, that advantage to use. And it may not be the day to do so. But I also feel like your spirituality, for some, your intuition is giving you this leg up. And there's a sense of freedom. I mean, it makes sense that I mentioned my hair. Oh, did I even mention it in this attempt? As you can see, I did cut my hair and I'm feeling quite free. But everything happens for a reason, once again, and this day reminds you of just that. But there's a sense of you being pushed to, without stressing oneself out, right? While maintaining or bringing oneself back to a state of confidence and a state of ease, to keep things moving forward, keep progressing, right? Keep growing, and keep that creativity alive, keep things fresh, all right? It's a very successful day full of serendipity, productive thoughts and movement, once again, accomplishing, and you're being reminded that luck is on your side and there's more fulfillment moving forward, all right? Things are about to improve, but I want to say they're going to get busier as well for you drawn to this reading, all right? So if this was truly helpful, sending you so much love and light, definitely go enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you next time.